Hey bees, I'm Marie from Humblebee and Me, and today I thought we would do a bit of a spring/early summer favorites video. I was watching somebody else's favorites video and I thought it was kind of groovy and really interesting, and so I thought I would do one of my own. And also, apologies if you can hear my dog yelping and crying in the background. She is fine, she is just upset that I'm not involving her in this. Usually I film my videos on days when I can take her to doggy daycare, but because she was spayed recently, I can't take her to doggy daycare for another week, which means either no videos or the potential of dog crying in the background. So I went with dog crying. Hope you don't mind. Hope it's not too annoying. But let's get started. So thing number one that I'm super excited about this spring is True Rose Hydrosol. This is a hair conditioning, like a leave-in, really lightweight hair conditioning mist that I made. Recipes on the blog, link below. With some, and guys, I've been using rose water from the grocery store for a while. Rose Hydrosol, just, it is so much better than grocery store rose water. It's like the difference between having a baguette from Safeway here in Calgary and having a baguette in Montpellier at the little patisserie that was around the corner from the adorable little flat I rented. It's like, okay, technically the same name, they sort of look the same, but beyond that, it's just like not even close. Real rose water is so intoxicating and rich and amazing. The stuff that I got is from Voyageur. I will throw a link to that in the description box below. I have had the opportunity to smell some other True Rose Hydrosols, and they do definitely vary by source, so if you can order it from Voyageur, I can't recommend theirs enough. Like, I want to bathe in this stuff. I want to just like have it sprayed. It smells so good, and it's probably one of the most affordable ways that you can get a rosy scent into your products without using a rose fragrance oil, because rose essential oil is so expensive. So yes, highly recommended Rose Hydrosol. Thing number two is Silica Microspheres. They are pretty boring to look at, so I thought I would show you sort of one of the things that I have made recently that uses Silica Microspheres that I'm also really loving. So this is my DIY Airbrushing Primer, and it's amazing. This is actually all I'm wearing on my face right now, and I think my complexion looks pretty darn good, if I do say so myself. The compact is from Camden Market, and I've had a couple of you be like, where did you get it in Camden Market? And like, I literally couldn't tell you if my life depended on it. It was in the actual market, and it was down some stairs, and after that it's just a quagmire of remembering bits of like old crockery and vintage cameras and the smiling poop emoji pillows. Like, that place is an absolute maze. I have absolutely no idea where this came from other than sort of generically like in Camden Market and down some stairs. So sorry. But Silica Microspheres, they're amazing. I have yet to find anything that Silica Microspheres don't improve. In powders, they give the powder the most amazing slip, like this wonderful, silky, incredibly luxurious slip that you just, and they absorb oil, so they help give a really nice dry finish. They're wonderful in primers. They take, like, if you put Silica Microspheres in an oil serum or a balm, it gives them this wonderful dry touch finish, and just, they make everything feel amazing, even in relatively small amounts. And there are some cosmetic companies out there that sell pure Silica Microspheres as super expensive setting powder, so you can definitely use it for a setting powder too and feel pretty smart, because if you just buy plain old Silica Microspheres, they're nowhere near as expensive as said setting powder. So I know in the States, TKB Trading has them, and here in Canada, Windy Point finally got some in, and they are well priced, so I can't recommend them enough. And honestly, they're so light and fluffy that even if you just buy like an ounce or less, so like 30 grams or less, that's tons. That'll last you ages and ages and ages. So can't recommend them enough, especially if you love silky loveliness. Yeah, Silica Microspheres are the bomb. Thing number three are my highlighting moon drops. So I did a video and a blog post on these last month. It was maybe 2 months ago. I don't even know anymore. But you can learn how to make them yourself. Super, super easy. You basically just put everything in a little pot like this and then stir it together. And speaking of Silica Microspheres, these have Silica Microspheres in them. And then this is my lip color, which is adapted from, and my blush actually, adapted from the highlighting moondrop recipe. You simply add 1/32 of a teaspoon of a pure pigment. So this one is like an FD&C red number 7, but you can use carmine or iron oxides. And you can of course do a blend, work your way up to that 1/32 of a teaspoon to make yourself some seriously Bomb-diggity lip color. This stuff wears crazy, crazy well. So I am loving these for how easy they are to put together. I have like 10 colors of them from when I was developing the recipe, so I have loads of them, and they're super, super fun to play with and apply, and really great for me because I am super lazy. So I'll just sort of like dip my finger, aha, here, and this one has mermaid glitter in it. And let's see how I do applying this on the fly. Hopefully that's not too ridiculous. Even that out. But yes, shimmery, shimmery mica goodness, crazy easy to make, just a handful of ingredients. And honestly, I think these would be great for like a ladies' night or a sleepover or something, because you just put out all your micas and then a bunch of little jars and then tons of toothpicks and little measuring spoons, and you just like go to town. And yeah, these things are fun. Highly recommended. Links in the description box below. In a non-DIY related thing, this lens. Oh my heavens, this lens. So this is the Sigma 35mm f1.4 art, and it is so gorgeous. I've never had a 35mm lens before. I like primes. I've usually sort of started with 50s because 50s are usually the cheapest primes, and then I got the 85mm Sigma f1.4 art as well, and it's also amazing. But when I was going to Quebec, I wanted one really versatile lens. So I wanted it to be fast, I wanted it to be wide, and I wanted it to take really, really nice pictures. And this does, guys. It's so beautiful. So I use this with my Nikon D750 and just, yes, there's a glittery lip print on here now, but it is well deserved. This is such a gorgeous lens, and if you love shallow depth of field and you love bokeh and you love actually getting a deal, because this lens is actually quite a bit cheaper than the Nikon sort of equivalent, the Nikon full frame 35 f1.4. Yeah, I love this lens. I can't say enough good things about it. I did the entire trip with just this one lens. I didn't even bring anything else. It's beautiful. I can shoot inside, I can shoot outside. It's just, I'll throw a link to the some of the photos that I've taken with it below, because just like, you are so beautiful. These pens are amazing. I'm a huge pen snob, like massive. I'm a massive stationery geek. I remember being, I think I was like 12, and being so excited in like an Office Depot that they offered me a job on the spot, which I couldn't accept because I was 12 and was in school. But these pens, man, I think these are the best pens I've ever used. So this is a Uni-ball Signo DX. It is a 0.24mm. The point is beautifully fine. The gel ink just comes out like silky, silky magic. They're not really, it's not too bulky of a pen. It feels good in my hand. Like, I look for excuses to write things now that I have this, like, it's amazing. So these pens are Japanese, and so you can't find them in stores here, but you can find them on Amazon really, really easily, and they're about $2 a piece. You get a box of 10 of them for about 20 bucks. At least that's on Amazon.ca. It's probably cheaper Amazon.com, because everything's cheaper on Amazon.com. But yes, if you love a good pen, like, they're so good. And if this bothers you, yes, it is like a cap system, not a clicky, but I like caps because it gives me something to play with and lose at trivia night when I'm writing down all of our answers. I would say if you have watched many of my videos, you know I am a spatula connoisseur as well. And so I found some more spatulas I'm super excited about. Oh, these don't show up well on white background at all. There we go. Yeah. So these things are amazing. They are one solid piece, so you don't have the head falling off and then getting a bunch of junk like stuck up in the hole in the head. So that's amazing. And there's no crevices for stuff to get stuck in, and you don't turn it upside down and find like water coming out of there from the last time you washed it. So that's awesome. They come in a 6-pack that's super reasonably priced, and they're all different colors. So I find when I'm making soap, it's great because I kind of like, I can say like, this is the purple one and it's for this, you know, make like the purple layer, and the yellow one is for the yellow layer, and this, and they have nice, like they're nice and bendy, and they've got quite a fine edge. Not as fine as the jar spatulas I love, so I find I use these more for soap making than anything else, but they're amazing. And I have 6 of them, and that pretty much fulfills my desire to have a bouquet of spatulas instead of a bouquet of flowers for all things. So yeah, these things are awesome. They are the best sort of full-sized, not long, narrow jar spatula type spatulas that I've ever bought. And I think the 6-pack thing is probably just icing on the cake, because if I had only bought one, I would want 5 more. So yes, highly recommended. Link in the description box below. Pretty, best spatulas ever for things that don't require a jar spatula. So this one makes me feel a little dorky and actually gives me flashbacks to, you remember the Matilda movie with Danny DeVito in it and Mara Wilson, and how when she's like sneaking into their bedroom to mess with their hair and skincare products, how her mom like sits up in the middle of the night and it's all like, but then it turns out she's got a sleep mask on. Yeah. Don't I look awesome? But actually this thing is pretty cool. Even though I have some seriously bright lights shining on me, I'm getting absolutely no light in here, and it's nice and like soft and comfy. So basically, one of the benefits of living relatively far north is that when we get close to the summer solstice, it gets light really early. I am regularly being woken up by the birds at about 4:30, because that's about when dawn is. And by 5 a.m. it is absolutely daylight bright outside, and that's just gonna get worse for the next couple weeks. And I love daylight, but I also love sleep. And I've been finding that now that I have Lottie, as lovely as she is, I don't sleep as well. I'm just always on guard, listening for her, crying. She's never crying. I wish I could sort of turn that down. I don't need that level of diligence anymore. So I am using this sleeping mask and earplugs. So I don't tend to go to sleep in them because they're not as comfortable as sleeping without them. But when the birds start singing and the sun comes up, I have my little mask and my earplug stashed just next to my bed so I can kind of and then go back to sleep and actually sleep past 5 a.m. So yeah, I got this on Amazon, and you know, basically sight unseen as all things that you get on Amazon, but it's actually really comfortable and really works. And I mean, okay, it's purple, that's neat. I am actually quite glad that it doesn't have eyes painted on it, but you know, if you were so inclined, I think you could probably put some googly eyes on here and really wig out your significant other. Last but not least, I went and saw Wonder Woman, and it's amazing! Like, guys, it's so good. I enjoyed it so much. And just watching this like big, tall, beautiful, smart, strong, crazy, sexy woman just like kick ass. I was sitting in the theater being like, I should take up martial arts. Also, I should run more. And how does her hair always look like it? I loved it. I loved it so much. It's like a fun summer movie that I'm totally planning on like taking my parents to see next time they come visit, because they should see it too. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. All my girlfriends are saying the same thing. I came out of the movie and was like, that was amazing. And I pull up my phone and I have a text from my best girlfriend being like, I just saw Wonder Woman and it's amazing. And I was like, I know. Yes, I'm pretty excited about this movie. Yeah, I don't know. You should go see it. It's like absolutely 100% worth a couple hours of your time. And yeah. Alright, those are some of the things that I've been super excited about this spring of 2017. I anticipate I will continue to be excited about most of those things, especially those spatulas and those pens and that camera lens. Yeah. For links for everything that I talked about, check the description box below. And yeah, I would love to hear about some of the things that you guys have been really excited about and obsessing about in the last couple months, or just sort of in general, because when somebody really likes something, it's probably really awesome. So like, I want to know about it. But yeah, please remember to check that description box below for the links. Please subscribe. Thumbs up would be nice. And don't forget to check out my blog, because my blog is where I post tons and tons of content. That's where my massive archive of the last like 5.5 years of blog posts and recipes live. So if you're looking for something, there's a really good chance that it is already there. And I also have a free DIY skincare for beginners e-course that you can sign up for there, and I think it's pretty sweet. And also free, did I mention? So yes. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.